Hello everybody, it is Tom Hobden calling for episode 9 of Dance Digital and Participation, and this week's episode I've called Digital Dance Detox because basically I saw this tweet here from the lovely, brilliant Danielle Teal, and I kind of thought, I've been talking week after week after week about, get into digital, let's get doing this, let's talk to these people, but there are upsides and there are downsides, right? And actually one of the downsides of all of this stuff is it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I have got some top tips coming up in the next part of the episode, and we're speaking to the amazing Terry Hyde, who is a psychotherapist who's going to give us some real kind of insights into how to look after ourselves with all of this digital craziness and all this lockdown and pandemic and all of that gubbins and business and everything. And here I am again talking way too much. So please, can you just skip straight to the intro? Let's go! So for this episode, what I thought we'd do is a top 3 tips, and then we'd jump in to the awesome Terry Hyde. So my top 3 tips for Dance Digital Detox are as follows. Number 1 is about, well, I wouldn't be the man that tells everybody to dance every day if I didn't tell you to dance every day. But why have we got to dance every day? Well, you see, the thing is by putting on your favourite music, you're going to just really enjoy it, and you're going to get yourself away from all of that technology, and you're just going to be a human being loving dancing. Top tip number 2 is all about think like Nintendo. Now, Nintendo won't let you get to level 2 before you've done level 1, and you can't do level 3 until you've done level 2. Now, if you bought a little book at home saying how to use your camera, how to do mapping, how to do all of this, they're probably about this thick, and they're probably really intimidating and scary. So all I'm going to do is say just do 1 page at a time. Pages turn into chapters, chapters turn into books, and then suddenly you know what you're doing. Top tip number 3 is unplug. Think like the beginning of this episode. You've got to get yourself in your zen-like place. Just do whatever it does, but just take yourself away from the technology. So I'm in the wonderful Suffolk countryside, so I can just go outside with a walk with my family and friends and totally disconnect. As soon as you're away from the tech and then you come back to it, you're going to feel better, you're going to feel brighter, and you're going to give it a go. So just remember, unplug, keep dancing. Okay, so on this week's episode, we have the glorious Terry Hyde, who is a psychotherapist. Now, I met Terry probably about a year ago at Dance East on the CAP programme, but that's enough of me. Terry, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you do?
Well, I'm a psychotherapist, and I trained from about 10 years ago now, but it wasn't until 2016 when an ex-dancer, a retired dancer, came to see me for therapy. The dancer knew that I had a career as a dancer, and I can go into that later. And he said, you would understand me. And that's what started it. That was at the end of 2016. And by January 2017, I then set up a website called counsellingfordancers.com. Dance has to be this glamorous thing. Everything on stage, all the glitter, all the lights. Mustn't talk about mental health issues. No, I mean, hardly talk about injuries, but talking about mental health issues. No, there is no parity. There's no obvious parity between physical health and mental health in the world anyway, let alone in dance, let alone in gymnastics, let alone in athletics. The companies will spend tens of thousands of pounds on machinery to help maintain the bodies. They spend a lot of money on physical therapists to help maintain and help heal injured bodies. But they don't think, why are they injured? What's the frame of mind that they've got? What's their mindset? What about the tiredness? What about the stress, the normal living stress, let alone the stress of rehearsals, etc.?
Mm,
When you're tired, that's when you're going to get injured.
mm.
Don't think about that. It's always reactive and not proactive. So I have these workshops, mental health self-care workshops for dancers, which that's where we met in Dance East. I spent a day at Dance East on the CAT program with all the different groups there. And it's to give dancers an idea of how to start looking after themselves and how to change their mindsets about rehearsals, about auditions, exams, assessments, and to talk about what anxiety actually is. Um, it's a frame of mind. It's a thought. That's what creates anxiety.
Um, One of the things I wanted to just go on to as well is that I know that a lot of community artists and myself as well, I've been feeling quite a lot of pressure, pressure to get online, pressure to be good online, pressure to cope with our finances and our families. And actually, this pandemic and this technology has really made us have quite a lot of overload. And I wonder, do you have any tips or any stories about maybe how to cope with that overload?
It's just to pace yourself.
Okay.
Um, Dancers in general, not all of them, but dancers in general have this mindset uh, of being perfect. There is a fear of showing weakness of dancers because they have to always be strong. We've been told right from the early, push through your pain. It's all good for you. No, all of this. It's a load of rubbish. You've got to be gentle. You've got to be kind to yourself. So going back to your question,
Hmm.
be gentle, be kind to yourself. Don't force these things onto yourself that perhaps you're not able to do. I know you've got a lot of teachers that are following you on this,
Mm.
and so the teachers have also got a mindset of I've got to do it right. I've got to be good in front of the. Well, just be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. We're human. We're not robots. And I think that's what we need to think in a totally different way, that we mustn't push ourselves the way that we did before.
Mm.
So with the technology, we don't need all of that cut and thrust. Just take your time over it. Uh, Remember, you are human and you do need a day off.
And one of the wonderful tips actually that you were talking about with me, before we started this interview was about kind of eye contact and body language. Would you tell me a little bit more about that? Because I think that's a really important skill for a teacher actually communicating across these forms. But yeah, from your point of view.
Okay, so I'll demonstrate now.
Mm.
If you've been watching, I have been looking you in the eye. But of course, I haven't been looking you in the eye. I've been looking at this eye here, which is the camera. So for the teachers that are doing the classes, they need to look at the camera and not at the screen. So Tom, I'm looking at you now on the screen.
Okay.
All right. So can you see the difference?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So this is the attraction actually, to look at the person or to look at yourself
Okay.
if you're the main picture there. But no, it needs to be on the lens.
So Terry, also there has been quite a bit in the news. A little bit. You mentioned already about kind of Ballet West, and I know that you've got an offer kind of coming up. Would you tell the people about that? That'd be lovely.
Yes, yes. So I put out on social media that I'm offering one free consultation to past, present, and any students that were going to start in September, next month, and faculty should they wish to take me up on it.
Well, that is super, super generous of you. And actually, Terry, you have been super generous with this interview as well. So thank you so much for doing it. If you had one tip for surviving, the rest of this lockdown, what would you say to all these lovely dance teachers and dancers out there that are watching?
Okay, think of the 5 things that you changed in a positive way because of the lockdown. just 5 things, and think how that has changed your life. So 5 positive things that you've changed, and for you to continue in that vein, to think positively and to move forward rather than allowing these situations to change. Because remember, and here's the one tip, out of negative situations comes opportunities. And it's up to you to take those opportunities rather than saying, oh, it always happens to me. Don't be that person. Go with the change.
Terry, that is a brilliant way to finish it off. Thank you very, very much. I know that all of our viewers are going to love all of this, so thank you.
My pleasure.
So that is the end of episode 9, and I'm really pleased with how it's gone. We've got some top tips, we've had some interviews, we've had some kind of detox time, and I had a little moment of zen in the middle of there. If you really enjoyed today, will you please give us a thumbs up? It makes me feel good, it makes you feel good. If you have got something you'd like to say, just drop us a little comment down below. I've put all the details and the way that you can access Terry's really great offer down below in the links. It leaves me last of all to say the subscribes are going up. You are doing your job. Thank you very much. But if you have really enjoyed it, please like and subscribe everything that you've seen today. It leaves me last of all to say, as I'm saying every week, we want to see everybody dancing every day. Today, my dance was kind of a little technologic, little number like this. Have you done yours? If not, why not? You should be. But that is Tom Hobden for episode 9. Over and out. Ta-da!